Hello, I'm your girl Michelle Hope Walker, and today is March 20th, 2022. Now, what I'm talking about today is Black women are women too. It's almost like in the civil rights movement when we see the past footage where you will see men walking around saying, I am, with signs that say, I am a man. And they had to do that because they were always calling them boy and was not treating black men as men. You know, even today, it was something I was watching and a white man called, and it was entertainment wise, but he called a black guy a boy, and I was like, ooh, I was like, that is not good. But some people don't know the history of things and they just, joking around and think it's okay, But still in the setting and the way, I can't really remember what was what on it, but I just remember cringing inside, like, ooh. So black women, have to deal with the same thing. I know I went to a conference that was at our California African American Museum. Well, it wasn't a conference, a workshop. And it was during, I don't know if it's during Black History Month or maybe it was during Women's Month. Because, a lot of people see the last week of Women's Month as Black Women's Week. Because, again, the issues that we as Black women deal with are very different from other races. Even I was watching this document, The Vote. It was on PBS, and it discussed even back in when the white women were trying to get the vote, how there was even a time that Ida B. Wells, excuse me, had came to Washington D.C. for the march that the women were going to do in Washington for the vote and their rights and different things like that. And they basically were trying to turn Ida B. Wells and the students and the people she brought away because they did not want the black women involved, because they just wanted the white women involved because, I don't know, it really was wrong. So I don't even get caught because it was just wrong to not want the black women involved. And so even then, Sojourner Truth and even a lot of people talk about, again, the challenge that we as black women have always have is not only do we got like the double sword in a sense, because not only do we have to deal with the negative challenges that we receive just from the color of our skin, from race, from being black, but then it's also that then our gender, our sex, our gender, that we're a woman. Because in our society, men are still, like the key, figures. And as we do the totem pole, as we, again, I didn't make the totem pole. America made the totem pole. Where rich black men, it would be nice if a rich black man was at the top, but even the rich black man is seen on the totem pole higher than us black women. But anyway, the rich white man at the top of the totem pole. And unfortunately, and that we don't put ourselves at the bottom of the black totem pole. And I'm not saying that we see ourselves in this way, but I'm just saying in American culture, American society, and not just even Americans, people just say around the world, period, they, black women are down at the bottom, usually the very last ones. And what we're talking about in the treatment of how we're treated, and how policies to help us on protection of us, keeping us safe, and different things like that. So I'm not talking about how you see your friend next door or your neighbors. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, again, the political aspects and the financial aspects and the economic aspects and the class issues and again, in relation to negative treatment, because the white rich man, he's not going to get treated too bad. Matter of fact, whatever he get into, he tend to going to get off. It's going to take a lot for him. They were showing, was it the rich white man that killed his wife, and then he killed the friend, and Robert Dirksen, is that what it is? And then he killed a neighbor. This man, it took some years. Now, all a black person got to do is just look a certain way. We ain't even doing nothing wrong. We ain't even opened up our mouth. We ain't done nothing wrong. And we are in jail for nothing. 30 or plus years to get this. I'm like, well, okay. Anyway. So again, black women are women. But anyway, so at that workshop, and I had never thought about it, they were bringing up so many good concepts on how, and they pointed out things to me that was like, wow, that's true. On how we still have people in our society and with policies and power movers, and things that relate to, our livelihood that still don't look at us as women. They talked a lot about how, they look at us as workhorses. So they love to see black women working. If you always ask us to get some masters, try to do my best talk of slavery. That's okay. But, and not making fun of that language, because that was our language at the time, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, sometimes that is the capacity that you will see that some people want to see black women stayed in as servitude, capacity, and serving them and their interests, and how a lot is let a black woman get into it with someone of another race, or they have a disagreement on something. And a lot of times the other race will go quick to thinking, or you can tell just in how they're speaking to that black woman, or the names they might be calling that black woman, on how they're acting like, "Oh, you got the nerve," and they're feeling in their head they got that the black woman has the nerve, because I guess already that's letting you know that in that non-black person's head that they think they're better than the black woman. So they're looking in a sense of, how can this black woman, be, get into a disagreement with me, when as if like this black woman doesn't have the right to think her own mind or have her own point of views, her own, So again, a lot of times you can tell the race, and sometimes people don't even get it or see it, but if you studied racism, and because it's not just about calling a person an N-word. No, people are still running around doing that too. Again, like, really? Yeah. But it's how you treat people. And then it's in how you treat a black woman compared to how you're treating a non-black woman. Now, it's not comparing people, no, it's not, but we're talking about treating people fairly and making sure, because if you're treating everybody good, treat everybody good. But you shouldn't be treating black women bad, but then you treat all the other races better. And you're seeing them as a woman that needs to be protected and this and that. A lot of my videos, because I talk a lot about the challenges that black women experience. Why? Because I'm a black woman. I experience a lot of these things all the time. Now, I live in this city. I live in LA, the city of LA, Hollywood area, LA, so Koreatown, type area. And so, but I don't just stay in Koreatown, Hollywood. I'm just all over the place, and so sometimes people say, "Oh, well, that's because it's there." No, but then I travel. And so then you got to deal with the same challenges in airports and on buses and planes, and no matter where you are, New York, little small cities, Chicago, cities of back home, just different, that this is everywhere. And then as people will tell you all around the world, like, "Oh, hello, it's not just United States, it's everywhere," where black women are not seen as women. It's been a lot of people posting in relation to how the women and the people of Ukraine are being treated versus to how the black women and the Haitian people were treated. And I like even one person's post where they're like, it's not like we're saying treat Ukrainian people bad, because we're not saying, treat another race bad, no. But we're saying we want to see black people treated just as good. That's what we want to see. We want to see black women being treated just as good. Black women being protected just as much as white women are protected. Even with what they call the white woman syndrome, missing syndrome or something, and I was glad to see that they finally talked about that publicly, even on our regular local newses of this syndrome, because again, black people have talked about it a long time, that when a white woman goes missing, oh my gosh, the world starts looking for her. A black woman goes missing, we don't even know she's missing unless somebody in the community has told us, or we're watching a black news or something, and that's not right. Because if a woman, and right now I'm speaking in female woman terms, because it's Women's Month, and this is what we're talking about right now, is about black women are women too. And we're talking about treat black women just as good as you treat other women of other ethnicities and non-black women. So they talked about how they will go all out to find a white woman if she comes up missing. And when the black woman comes up missing, and you got where mothers are calling, reporting their black daughters missing or black family, they just right off the top figure, oh, well, maybe she's just gone. I've heard, where black mothers have said, or, black people have said about their family members that when they call the police or they, try to report, that their loved one, their black woman in the family, was missing, whether it was a black girl or a black woman, well, maybe you just don't know where she is, or maybe she just didn't tell, all these other excuses. Whereas when the white woman went missing, they hurried up and started looking for her. They didn't tell the parent, oh, well, maybe she's gone somewhere, she just didn't tell. They just automatically assume somebody must have grabbed her. Well, that's how you should feel when the family members of black women are calling and saying, hey, my family member or this person is missing. That you hurry up and get the dogs out and start putting it all over the news and everything. Same treatment as you do the white woman that is missing. And then also maybe you can find the black woman quicker, because a lot of families, people have talked about that it took so long for, the powers that be to finally start looking for their loved one, that it's like it was almost too late. When someone goes missing, it is really good. That's why I was telling my kids, let me, stay in touch with me. So if I can tell the difference of when you're missing or when you're just, somewhere, because it is time sensitive that when someone goes missing, you want to hurry up and start looking for them because you might can find them alive. The woman, bless her heart, she wasn't a black woman, but it's been a lot of women in past times they end up finding. I can't think is her name Michelle, or I can't think of the girl's name. And she had been locked up in something outside a basement or something. Somebody happened to hear and saved her. Hallelujah. So, we know from there then that people can be found. So you just don't give up on looking for people. And again, just the care of the black woman, And it's still sad that sometimes when a black woman come on the scene, and especially if it's a black woman that is not looking like, because you have sometimes, how mainstream, someone was just having this discussion and I was like, that is so true, that if you look the way they want you to look, if you look the way they feel comfortable with you looking, and for us black women, a lot of times it's straight hair, maybe they want long hair, and that's why I tell people, don't be criticizing black women that's wearing wigs and weaves and different, because unfortunately some black women feel like they have to look as close to the mainstream society as possible in hopes that they don't get, discriminated against. And I think that's sad, because we should not have to look the way white people want us to look for us to get treated right. So you all know I do natural look, and, sometimes with this natural tricks, when we go places, either they think, oh, well, you don't have the money to straighten your hair. Oh, well, you don't have the money for a weaver. No, I have plenty of wigs and weaves. Because y'all know I'll sometimes put on something, in my, right here, what I'm saying? I can straighten my hair if I want to. Like, it's the guy that followed me around in the store, at the grocery store one time, said, man, your hair would be really long if you straighten it, huh? And I'm sitting here looking at him, first of all, like, weird. Why are you following me around the store envisioning my hair straight? Because I'm not about to straighten it. I love my natural hair. I love my natural hair. Whether it was short or long, actually, I don't know why I started long, because y'all knew I grew I've loved it at every stage. I love my curls, my natural coils, I love it. No, I'm not about to straighten my hair. That's not where I'm at. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with folks that do straighten hair. Do whatever hairstyle. I always say, you wear the hairstyle, you want to wear the hairstyle. But right now we're talking about black women are women too, because unfortunately sometimes if the black woman don't look in the way that makes white people or other races comfortable, then they discriminate even more against us and act even more racist against us. Where if you come in looking like Beyonce or looking like, who they think or as much close to them as they think, it's like, oh yeah, yes, I like Keisha. Or I like Sharika. I'm just making them names, y'all. So Keisha's and Sharika's, I'm not talking about, I'm just saying. That's how sometimes people of other races can be. If you're as close as that you look like them, Is nothing wrong with that? Because again, I'm not putting, because we also have to watch it within the black race of putting each other down on, well, you wear your hair, wear your hair however you want to. You wear it natural, you can wear it with weave and wigs and braids and how long braids with extensions to it. However you want to wear your hair the way you want to. Right now, we're basically talking about the other race, and I guess we can blend into how black people treat each other in the sense of that black women are women too. And that's the key point. Because you even have sometimes our black men, oh my God, they will just adore a white woman or just a woman of another race. Oh my gosh, they're so gentle with her. And then the black woman comes around, they get all hard and they address us a certain way. And I just be looking like, and I'm just talking about black men, I'm just talking about people in general sometimes, and you're just like, now, I just seen how they just addressed Becky. And Becky has just been the term sometimes that they have put, for white women, and white women, I love you, and all other race of women, I love you. Again, this video, though, is talking about black women are women, too, because society and different people are not always treating black women as women. They're treating us less than women, in a sense, and treating us negatively. Then they treat white women or women of other races. I am always advocating for it that however you're treating a white woman, that should be the same. The positiveness, and again, we're talking about positive here. The positiveness that you are giving white women is the same positiveness you should be giving black women. That's what I'm saying right there. I'm not saying treat back to what the lady talked about. We're not saying treat nobody bad, but we're saying make sure you're treating black women with the same care as you treat white women, the same care as you treat other women that are not black. Make sure we get that same care, that same positive treatment, that same good thought in your head. When we walk on the scene as black women, you thinking good about us. You thinking wholesome about us. It's not this thing of when black women walk up on the scene, oh my gosh, here's my black one. I mean, because literally you can see the looks on people's faces. You can see how the whole demeanor, it's just so wrong. And then I've actually even had one guy where I was talking, he had the nerve to say, well, sometimes, certain people of that race have done something to you, so you just assume. I'm like, oh, how dare you? Because that's like us, if one white person have done something to us, then we blaming everybody. No. It's sort of back to the key point Martin Luther King talked about the character of the person. How's the person treating you? The person treating you, fine, make different what race they are. Bless me. Y'all know I'm so naive in the sense that I just love everybody, just happy everywhere, And so I tend to always walk up on the scene happy. Hey, how y'all doing today? That's me, And sometimes when you start getting that treatment of just, and you haven't done nothing, to these people. So then, oh my gosh, here we go. The race treatment. Because if you was a white woman walking up with, hey, y'all, how you know, they be running to you. Hi, baby, how are you doing? Oh, they ain't got to know you or nothing. They just will love all on you, But when you're a black woman, you got to prove something to them first. That's why I said we the most provenest folks, And not that we want to have to prove, but, that people feel like we got to prove. We got to prove we smart. We got to prove that we're a good person. We got to prove all this stuff when we walk up on the scene. Where other races can walk up on the scene and they ain't got to prove nothing. People just automatically assume them as being a good person. And even when these people do something wrong, people will still look at them as a good person, just act like, oh, I ain't gonna act like I see. I don't know how many times, because I'm out here in Hollywood, so sometimes we go to different events and stuff, and I would be looking at some of these non-black people. And when I say non-black, that means white or other races, and they're not black, and they be doing all kinds of stuff at these shows. They be sneaking in. They just be doing, and the security just see them and just laugh on it, so they think it's okay. Now, don't let a black woman try, oh my God, get her, put her out. She tried to do it. I mean, they make a big old scene of that, you know what I'm saying? So that's why sometimes when you're with your friends that are not black, and they be like, come on, girl, you can do this, come on, no, you're going to do it. You go. Or if you do it, you do it with them, because then also, if they don't get in trouble, or, and not saying you're sneaking do, so let's just say it could be anything. If they're allowed to stand there and watch us, sometimes we do red carpet stuff. So if they're allowed to stand right there in that spot, well, then you should be allowed to stand right there. Because if they come try to move you away because you black and they don't want you standing there, But they don't mind Becky standing there who's white. It's like, okay, well, if Becky gets to stand there, should get to stand there as well. Or you just gonna have to move both of us. Now, don't get me wrong, these people can do what they want to do. And you just very well maybe move. But that's the example. That's where, again, clearly, and especially in Hollywood, clearly you can see a lot of times the racism. Oh my gosh, Now, if you Black and they know you an actor they know, or you're a music person, like I said, I'm sure Beyonce, when she don't have a lot of challenges. But even in that mode, we have to remember where Oprah talked about how she was at a store and a Black woman, it wasn't a Black, I don't know what color the person was, who assumed or tried to accuse Oprah of stealing or accuse Oprah of not having enough money, So again, you can even go places, even when you're a celebrity, a Black woman, and people don't know who you are. If you're in Hollywood, they know who you are, and you get open door treatment and good treatment and positive treatment. But they've talked about when there are other places and people didn't know who they're, they felt what everyday Black women feel at times when they're in stores and being followed, or, you come up on the scene, all of a sudden people, watching you, everybody's watching you and trying to listen out for what you say. You say anything, you have not said anything but something nice. I know me, hey, how you doing? They looking at you funny, like you said something wrong or waiting for you to say waiting for you to be negative, and you're like, I'm not not negative. I'm not a negative person, But that's again let you know the racism in them, that's what they expect. So then that's racism, because since they're not expecting Becky to come up and say the wrong thing, they're not expecting Becky to act out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? There is this group that, again, we all have been in Hollywood, when we take pictures with different celebrities and go different. There's this group that correct me because they, a lot of times are even going after Black actors and Black musicians. And a lot of times when I'm out there with them, they're so racist to me. I'm just, and sometimes I would tell them, like, now y'all sitting here, because I think one time they were trying to get Jamie Foxx thing or something. I'm like, now, while you sitting here waiting for them, like, you are just about as right. I said, I'm going to tell Jamie. How racist you are out here to me, you know what I'm saying? But you want to get a signature of a Black person with money, you know what I'm saying, of a celebrity. How dare you? It's your racist tail. Oh, it'd just be amazing what we Black women have to experience. But again, going back to not treated as women. What's some other things they talked about? Even talked about how Black women, mothers, so Black women, Black mothers, aren't treated positively. In the children and family service arena, they take more Black children away from Black mothers than they do any other race, because they just automatically see Black women as negative and just totally assume they must be doing something wrong to their kids. And that concept I never really get, because I'm like, in slavery days, we were the ones who raised white people kids. So how is it that now you don't think that Black people know how to raise their own kid? And don't get me wrong, in every race there are some people that may have challenges with raising their kids, but that is not just Black people. That's people in all kinds of different races. And the protection of Black women is really my key one. Protect Black women like you protect white women. Look upon Black women with that positive smile and just, happiness when they walk upon the scene, just like you do a white woman or another woman that's not Black walk up on the scene. You just all smiles, and Black men just smiling, trying to figure out who. Oh. And Black men in Hollywood sometimes just crack me up. You can be walking down the street, they'd be scared to just even look your way. And you walk like as if they looked at you, you're gonna think they like you, and you're gonna oh gosh. But they will accept, Black men will accept women of other races to be themselves and be however. So we as black women, we're our natural do and just be ourselves, whatever, again, if the black men do not feel like you looking in the way they feel you ought to look, and they feel they're attracted to you or whatever, they sometimes want to look at you, look down on you or whatever. But even if you look in the way that attracts a black man, then sometimes they still want to try to take advantage of you and mistreat you because you're a black woman, So again, that's where that white supremacy mindset comes in, where you even have black men upholding white women or women of other races, adoring them and just loving women of other races more than they love the women in their own race. And then don't get me wrong. Love whoever you want to love. I'm not against anybody. I've dated, all kind of different people, different races. So I'm like, love whoever you are. But I am leery of that concept with some black men that they only want to date women of a certain race. They just don't like their black race at all. And I'm just like, wow. But again, that's their choice and that's their preference. Do you, boo? But I'm like, wow, you came from a black woman, though. You came from a black woman. Now, some of you, maybe it's your dad that's black and you came from a white woman because you're mixed, but you're still considered black, in a sense. And so, but I'm just like, wow. But anyway, so treat black women good, because black women are women too. Don't put more of a hardship on black women. Or you only just want to see black women's workhorses. That's what they talk about. So I just want to see black women working. They don't ever want to see black women taking a break. They don't ever want to see black women not working, where white women can stay at home and be housewives and different things like that. Where sometimes in our society, they don't want no black woman to be no housewife. Oh, no, you must work. That work mule type thing, came from that slavery mindset that you got to work. You got to work. Work till you die. Or die working. Type thing. Where in society, even still, it's okay for white women or other races to not work. That's just natural and it's okay. They don't have to work. Their husband, they said they don't have to, they can go to the PTA meetings, they can do all, In the meantime, they're constantly figure out where you work. As a black woman, they want to know where you, because they feel like you better be working. You better be. Oh, amazing. Just different negative concepts that they have of black women that they do not have of other women. So just to remind you all again, black women are women too. So that means be kind and be gentle with black women. Don't be so stern with black women. This theory that sometimes you come on the scene, you're just asking a question and people address you in a very aggressive way. When there's some racism in them that somebody has told them you have to be more harsher with black people. You gotta act hard with black people. They'll take over or whatever. I don't know who told you that's not true. And if it's black people quit saying that. If you're saying it, that is not true. You know what I'm saying? And then white people, you should know that, there are all kinds of different white people. There are all kinds of different black people. And then for all the races in between, the black and white, same thing. There are all kinds of different people in your race. But this theory of with black women, and just negative theories they have of black women, they always lying or they always trying to keep it dry. But it's just negative, which is not true. None of that is true. None of that is true. Because that can be said for any race. But unfortunately, they look more at the black woman. And so they come to the black woman harsh. I told you, look at my videos on YouTube, Michelle Hope Walker Speaks. I talked to you all about how sometimes with customer service, if Becky went before you and you didn't see the good service that Becky got, and then you go up and they don't even greet you. They don't even say, can I help you or nothing. They just look as if they don't want you there. As if, why are you here? You know what I'm saying? You just be like, well, aren't you going to greet me? Or, But then in most cases, you just learn, go on and handle your business, what you got to handle your business with, and just get on up out of here. You just have to have that mindset. Because you already see the racism in you and how they doing the customer service treatment on you, and then giving you no customer service. They just gave Becky the red carpet treatment, and they looking at you like they don't even want you here. But you got money, though. You about to spend your money. You mind you spending your money there, though. See what I'm saying? And that's why some places, when they treat you a certain way, you quit going there. You be like, oh, okay. All right. Well, I bet you I won't spend no money here on helping to support your job. Anyway, I'm your girl, Michelle Hope Walker. So, yes, you can follow me on YouTube, Michelle Hope Walker Speaks. On Instagram, Michelle Hope Walker Speaks. Facebook, Michelle Walker Speaks, period, listen. And on Twitter, Hope_Speaks. So, again, this date is March 20th, 2022. Black women are women too.